a misconception about capsule wardrobes is they all have to be neutral colors. It doesn't necessarily need to be. It just needs to be that all of your clothes are in the same color palette, right? And so I always tell people you want to choose 3 to 4 neutrals and 2 to 3 colors. And that is how you make your color palette. And so the other piece of that is body type. Body type is what keeps you from going into that store and trying on those paper bag pants. It teaches you how to shop. Again, you know what your body type is and you know what kind of items you should be looking at.
Today's masterclass is on creating a capsule wardrobe. Today's guest is Lara Kennedy. Lara has a BFA in theatre and has been a director for 20 plus years. Her love for costuming, timeless fashion, and the pursuit to get some time back as a mum led her to create a capsule wardrobe course, the Wardrobe Edit. She is currently living in Driftwood, Texas with her 2 boys and husband. Welcome, Lara.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
I'm excited to find out more as well.
Yeah.
What took you on your journey of creating a capsule wardrobe?
Yeah, so I needing time. I was wanting my time back. I have always cared about style. I have always cared about kind of what I look like, and I've always loved fashion and all of that stuff. What I found was happening was that I was spending so much time. I was in the phase of I have a lot of clothes and nothing to wear. And every morning it was like, I don't know what to wear. It was like Groundhog's Day. I just did not know what to wear. And I would try a bunch of stuff off and then I would have this huge mess. And on my bed where I'm trying things and I'm tossing them on the bed and that whole thing. I was a teacher. I was an admin. And so one summer I had off and I was like, this is it. I'm going to redo my wardrobe. It is taking me way too long to figure out what I like. I don't feel really good in my clothes. Like I liked them, but I didn't love them. I had a lot of clothes that were from years and years ago, like college or, you know what I mean? Or things that I was kind of influenced to buy by other people or, just going through certain phases of my life. And so I began to, through the power of YouTube and all of these things, just like we're creating this, like I began to learn more about what I really wanted. And at that time, I also kind of felt like I was a different decade. I was in my 30s at the time. I just turned 40. I was in my 30s. And how do I want to see myself? How do I want others to perceive me so that I can kind of advance my life in the way that I want to? And so it was a whole transformation. It was transforming my personal style as well as transforming my closet. And so, and I just fell in love with it and then started to share it with others and people got really interested and that's how it began.
Oh, that's fantastic. Tell me about your time in theatre. Is that something you naturally fell into or is that from your experiences?
Yeah, so I was in theater in high school and then I went into college for directing because I realized I wanted to be a director. So I had directed, like I said, for 20 something years. But through that, so I'm going through this kind of like wardrobe transformation, but I'm also realizing at the same time that a lot of the clothes that I'm costuming my students in, we kind of use the same pieces for multiple decades. And you start to see that there's a pattern there in these pieces that are really timeless. Like the biggest pieces like the button-down white shirt, right? The button-down white collared shirt hasn't gone anywhere and it has been around for a very, very long time. And so I started to see that I could reuse pieces and so that kind of where my background was in terms of like even redoing my wardrobe because I wanted to buy things that were going to last and that were not like trend pieces. So that experience with directing and being in theater, somehow it's so funny how it just ended up kind of like a puzzle, 2 pieces being put together and created what I do now. So it's good times.
Oh, it's excellent. So how to curate a wardrobe you love and feel amazing in without spending lots of money. And now you're going to start the masterclass and tell us exactly how we can do that. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, it is really exciting. And I think that I think the principles are simple, but I don't think that anyone really talks to us about that, right? When we think about when we're being raised, like our moms don't really tell us how to shop. That no one talks about how to do this, how to build out a wardrobe for yourself. It's really just kind of like we're being haphazard, right? So the first thing I'm going to start with is, so these are kind of the three, when I think of like the woman who is looking for something like this, there's three kind of things that they tend to do. So you have a closet full of clothes and nothing to wear. And I have my notes over here, so I will be looking over. A woman who hates shopping because nothing fits or she doesn't know what colors to buy. And then the woman who has no clue what her style is, so she buys whatever is convenient. So if you fall into any one of those categories, this is going to be for you. So we're going to start with the three mistakes that I see women making. And the first one is, the first place we go is when we believe that we need to kind of edit down our wardrobe. We look for capsule wardrobe plans, right? And so we find these plans that are, you need to have 33 items. You need to wear this dress 12 different ways. It's a scarf.
Wow.
It's a shirt. You're needing to do all of these weird things. We're needing to have different clothes. And then every season you pack up all your clothes and you put them away and then you bring out your new set of clothes. Like, we tend to kind of go through that. And I believe that is stressful. That adds more onto my plate. So I'm trying to start a capsule wardrobe to take things off of my plate, not add more things to it. If I constantly have to think about how I can wear that item different ways, how I need to pack up my clothes, how I need to keep track of how many items I have, that can be really stressful. And so I always think, what if the rules were really simple? As many as you want, as many items as you want, they all have to match each other. And you have to love each item fully. The problem isn't how many items you have. It's that you don't have enough of what you love. So you end up settling and it becomes more about the items and less about you as a person. So that's the first mistake that I see women making. The second mistake is they don't want to spend a lot of money because they don't know what to buy. So that goes back to, like, we were never really taught how to shop. And a lot of women will say that. They'll say, I lack the know-how. I'm not stylish. I'm not this. I'm not that, even though they can be, but they don't know where to find that. And so they believe they lack the know-how on how to choose clothes for themselves. But we need clothes, right? So I always like to tell this story because I think that it just is something I've done. And every time I tell it, women are like, oh my gosh, that is totally me. And I don't think you guys have Target, right? You don't have Target.
No, not in the UK, we don't.
So insert whatever store like people love to go to that has like cheap clothes, but is just that kind of store. Okay. So this is... This is so funny. When normally in the past, I would go to Target, right? And I really want this certain pair of pants. And at the time it was paper bag pants. I don't know if you know what those are. They're like kind of like poofy pants a little bit. Okay. And they have a little tie at the waist and they're very cutesy. And I want these pants. And so I'm like, I see them and I see all these women wearing them and they look so cute and fashionable. And so I go into Target, I try on these pants. And normally the whole story behind Target is you're going to Target to get like eye contact solution, right? But like, because they have everything. So you're going there for like a grocery item, but then you get a candle and then so I see these pants and I'm like, oh, I'm going to try these pants on. So I try these pants on and I'm so excited. And I get in there and I try them on and they don't fit. They look terrible on me. And I instantly feel defeated, just like many other women. You would get so excited about something and then but it's not made for your body type, right? And so you try it on and it looks terrible. And so I'm like, okay, I can't get these pants, but now I need like that dose of like serotonin, right? Like I need to buy something. I need to feel good about myself. And so Target has these tables that have t-shirts on them and they are plain t-shirts, but they have an array of colors and they're very soft. And so you are like, okay, I like these t-shirts. They're just t-shirts. Of course you like them. Everyone likes a t-shirt. So you look at them and you're like, okay, I'm going to get this t-shirt because I want to feel good about myself. And I just experienced defeat. You buy the shirt and then you're like, okay, but I want to add to my wardrobe. So I'm going to go ahead and buy a few more colors, not just the one t-shirt, but now I'm buying like 3. And then I might make my way over to the accessories because they look so cute. The way that Target has them positioned, they're always like so cute and they're one size fits all. So I'm going to grab myself a pair of sunglasses, or I'm going to grab a headband or whatever it is, or a necklace or something. And so you do that over and over and over and over. You make the same mistake over and over because, again, you're not adjusting your mindset on how to buy for yourself. You're just doing the same thing over. And so what happens is, at this point, you've now spent hundreds of dollars on items that you don't really love, and some of them still have the tags on them. And I see that so much. Someone's going to be, we're looking at someone's closet, or they're telling me about their closet, and they're like, yeah, most of my stuff like still has the tags on it. And I'm like, what? That means you didn't need it. Like, you just spent money on that and didn't need it. So because you don't know what to buy, you end up spending more money on clothes that don't fit, don't last, and that you just don't love. That is mistake number 2. That resonate with you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
yeah.
Honestly, and even like members of my family, my friends, we've been out shopping and we've tried something on. Oh no, that doesn't fit. Let's try the next thing. And yeah, definitely.
And then like someone will look really good in it, and then someone else is like, oh, I don't know. Yeah. So mistake number 3 is we believe that we need to have a lot of money to have the wardrobe of our dreams, right? So we look at all of the, especially now, we've got influencers, we've got all these people, and they have all these like fabulous clothes, and they all have to look so nice in them. And we see their houses, we can see back behind them, and we're thinking, well, they have a ton of money. That is why they're able to have that. We would love a huge wardrobe overhaul, but we don't have the money to buy what we want. So we settle for cheaply made clothes because that is what's easiest. So what you end up buying are trend pieces. So you're looking at maybe what they're wearing and you're kind of wanting to simulate that, but at like a fraction of the cost, right? And so you end up buying them really cheap, or you end up just falling into trends and not buying things that are classic. And so that's another huge part of it. So you're buying these poorly made clothes, they're falling apart, you're throwing it in the trash, you're donating them, and then you're buying the same type of clothes all over again. So you get into that cycle of buying cheaply made stuff, it falling apart, you donate, you trash it, and then you do the same thing over again. This is where the timeless pieces come in. This is where the Audrey Hepburn, do you know what I mean? That
classic
kind
styles.
of classic style. And not that you need to dress like Audrey Hepburn. Everyone can dress with timeless pieces, no matter what style they like. But that's just the most clear example. Those are the 3 biggest mistakes that I see women making. So then it's like, okay, well, what do I do about it?
Exactly. So how can I build a lovely wardrobe?
Right. So like, how do I do this? So we're going to go through that. So step 1, we're starting with what we have, right? Step 1, I like to call it the audit. The audit is where you're looking at what you have and you are going piece by piece and determining whether you need to keep that or not. This is not just, some people will do the hanger trick where they have something on a hanger and then if they wear it, they flip it around. And by the end of a season or by the end of a year, they'll see what they wore and what they didn't wear.
Oh, I love that.
That is fun. That is a small step. So you can do what I believe is that you should do even more than that. Because what happens is you could be wearing something. This happens to me. I will buy a piece and then the like strap keeps falling down. And I'm like, all day long, I'm messing or I'm pulling, you know what I mean? Constantly fidgeting. According to what I believe you should do, that needs to go in the pile of, I'm not going to have it anymore unless I'm going to get it fixed. So when you look at your pieces, you're looking at their fit. You're going to look at their quality, how they're made. Are they made well? You're going to look at the style. again, is it timeless or are you falling into a trend? And you're going to look at the color. Does it match my other items? So when you audit each piece, it's not just about did you wear it or not. It's about does it go with other pieces? Is it a trend piece? When you're looking at fit, do you constantly, like the zipper of your jeans, do they constantly fall down or does it pooch out or
bulgy area?
Right. Like if something is bulgy, I tried a dress on the other day and the zipper on the side, it was not like conformed to my body. It was like, like it like stuck out of my body. And I was like, that's weird. And so, so you're looking at things like that. Like what are the annoying things about your clothes that you are like, I forgot that this does that. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. And so you're going to look through each item, and that is called the audit. That is the process that's what I like to call it. And slowly what I like to do is I call it like 3 piles, and you're going to have the pile of clothes you're keeping, or you're going to have your empty bar. So either you slide a bunch of clothes back and you have an empty bar, or you buy a clothing rack or whatever it is. You're going to put the ones you're keeping on a bar. And then you're going to have a donate or a sell pile. And then you're going to have maybe like a trash pile. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But basically you're going to go through every item. So the second step is looking at your personal style. And this is really difficult. And I probably could spend hours on here talking about this and instructing people. But knowing your personal style, knowing what colors look good on you, and knowing what your body type is so key to building out a wardrobe that you love and will feel confident in. And we don't know how to do that. And so like I have the wardrobe edit course, and it teaches everyone how to do all that. Yeah. And that's why I created it. So personal style is going to be obviously like the difference between someone who dresses like French, like they love that French kind of easygoing style, or someone who they love florals and they like to wear florals a bunch, have different styles. And it doesn't matter. I think a misconception about capsule wardrobes is they all have to be neutral colors. It doesn't necessarily need to be. It just needs to be that all of your clothes are in the same color palette. Right. And so I always tell people you want to choose 3 to 4 neutrals and 2 to 3 colors. And that is how you make your color palette. And so the other piece of that is body type. Body type is what keeps you from going into that store and trying on those paper bag pants. Because if you knew what your body type was, you would know, I know I'm probably not going to look good in those, but I know I am going to look good in these. Right. And so it teaches you how to shop. Again, you know what your body type is, and you know what kind of items you should be looking at. I know for me, like and that's part of the feeling confident, right? I know I look good in like kind of puffy sleeved things. It accentuates my shoulders more. And when I wear those things, I am like, oh, I feel so good. I feel so confident, and I know it. And I know when I walk out, I luckily have, a slew of boys. And so I have, right in the living room. And so I walk out and they're like, Mom, wow. Like I can tell. And it doesn't matter whether it's like, it's just, they can tell that I am feeling myself. Right. And that's why it's really important. And I mean, we can go on to a whole like clothing is vain or whatever, but it is really important that you love what you're wearing. And so knowing your personal style is the biggest part of redoing your wardrobe, but it's also the most subjective part, right? Because we sometimes can feel like, well, I'm not very creative. I don't know colors. Like I don't know how to match things super well. I don't read magazines. I don't look at, I guess who reads magazines? I don't look on social media. I don't, I don't look at fashionable people. So I really don't know how to do that. And it can be really subjective, but in wardrobe edit, I can think both ways. I can think subjectively. I love directing. I love theater. I love all that, but I also really love bookkeeping. So like My brain can operate on both. And so I really wanted to create a tangible way for women to figure out step by step how they find their colors, how they find their body type, how they dress for their body type, and not just like, I think you're a, whatever season. I think you're a fall. Well, what does that mean? Like,
Yeah.
So that's step 2. So step 3, call it step 3. It has like 5 steps within it. But step 3 is basically you're now editing your wardrobe. This is where you start to see. So what I call it is like finding where are the like holes in your wardrobe. So you've now been putting items on bars, right? You have this bar. And it has a pair of jeans. It has like 2 work tops. It's got 2 pairs of pants, a dress, a skirt, and they all go together. Like they go together, but I need more clothes than 5 items that I found. And so you start to see where you need to buy things, which means that you are going to shop intentionally and deliberately. So you're not just going to Target and a pair of pants and like, I'm going to try those on and then I'm going to buy these shirts and then I'm just going to go over here and just willy-nilly buy, right? You are like, I know that I need a black skirt. I need a black skirt. So now you're going to be looking, I'm looking online for a black skirt because maybe you need one right away. I'm looking online for a black skirt. I'm joining some pages on Facebook that are like secondhand pages. I'm looking for this black skirt that I really, really want. I know what style I want. And that is where your focus is. And so you have a list of items that you need and that's what you're buying. So when something comes up and you don't really need it, you don't buy it, because you're looking for the other things. So that is part of shopping intentionally. And then I call it prep for selling. I believe that everyone should sell their clothes if they are in good condition and everything is like, they're good. You want to, obviously be ethical when you're selling them. I believe that you spent the money to buy that item. You can get some of that money back to put towards your new wardrobe. And you're also giving that item a second home, because when you take all those things, and I get it, it's really hard to post your items. Like, it's annoying. You have to take pictures. You have to post it. It takes some time. When you pile all those things and you're like, I'm just going to take them to Goodwill or whatever charity shop you guys have, and not for everything. I know this is true for Goodwill. I don't know about other stores, but when you donate, those items end up in third world countries. They end up in huge piles. They take forever to break down and they are polluting the planet. So why not take a little bit of extra time, sell your clothes, make some money back, give that item another home, right? There's someone who's going to buy that and they're going to love it. And that is going to, while you're doing that, you're going to be able to add your money together and then purchase new items for your closet. Okay. So you're reinvesting that money. And because the deal is that you can have a closet full of clothes that looks just like some influencer's closet that you watch that you think is like amazing. If you just spend money on one item that is timeless, well made, lasts a long time, and you slowly start to do that, then you are going to have a closet full of really amazing, timeless, well-made clothes, right? And especially if you're looking at shoes or purses, those are items that you can resell at a higher value. They will decrease in value. They're not a house, but you can sell them for, there's some stores that I shop at where these women sell their clothes on these pages and they're selling it for not that much less than you would buy it for brand new, because it's an item that you can't find anywhere else. So those are kind of the three major like steps in redoing your closet.
So that's a lot of resources and tips you've given for anybody that wants to create a capsule wardrobe. So that's absolutely fantastic. There's so much we can actually do, but yet we don't because we feel it's not right. I guess it's taking time to actually get to know your own body as well.
It is really hard because you have to put the focus on you and take the focus off of your children, your husband, your whoever. And that is really, really hard. And so I think that's why most women don't. One of the things that I always tell my clients is you have to go shopping and try things on, or you have to order a bunch of stuff online and try things on. That's just part of it. If you don't put things on, you're not going to know what looks good on you. You know what I mean? And we don't want to do that because we have a fear of the walking into the store and feeling like we're so excited about an item and then feeling really defeated. We know what works. We know we can just wear pajama pants and a baggy t-shirt, or we know we can just wear jeans and a t-shirt every day. So we end up sticking to that. We hope for something better. We want to wear something nicer, but we're already starting off kind of defeated and unknowledgeable. And that's where the wardrobe edit came from. And that's why I created it, is because sometimes we need support and we need guidance to walk us through these steps, because it's not just about clothes and buying clothes and looking cute. It's really a mindset thing. It's getting through the stories that we tell ourselves in our head about a waste of money. It is vain. For me, one of the stories that I always had in my head, I love the color black. I love wearing black. I always did, but my dad used to tell me, you look goth, you look, like a bad person, basically, or dark, or whatever story he had in his head about what that looked like. So when I would wear black, it was constantly like him attacking me. Or if my mom he would want me to take my mom shopping clothes, but then he would say, don't get her a bunch of black. And it's that kind of thing that we have those stories from our parents, from other people. That's how I ended up with 10 different pairs of chino shorts, all in different colors, because I was like, I wear too much black. Like, I'm not supposed to be wearing black. So I guess I'm going to buy this green pair, this blue pair, this orange pair, this pink pair, this, you know what I mean? And then I'm trying to wear them all.
That's my classic. If something fits me nicely, I will buy it in all different colors.
In every color. Yeah.
It suits me and it feels comfortable. Why not?
And so, yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I went through, but I didn't really love those colors. I didn't love those. And because I had those colors, I now had to define something that matched those colors. And so then it's a very personal process. It's besides just helping with the mindset work, but talking to someone about their body and how to dress and this and that, it's very personal. I think every woman should devote the time, what little time they have, to doing something for themselves. And this is definitely a personal development item.
So where can the listeners find you online? What's your website?
So my website is Lara Dahl Kennedy, Lara Dahl Kennedy, .com. And I am on Instagram. I love Instagram. I just started a new one. And so that's strictly just for this. I was using my personal one. I have a good time on there. And that is at Lara Dahl Kennedy as well. So same name on all the platforms. And we have a good time. And please message me any questions and I'd love to answer them. I love talking about clothes and helping women.
Links in the show notes so everybody can get directly in touch with you.
Perfect.
So thank you for sharing your deep, insightful wisdom and knowledge with us today. And by doing so, I know you have helped so many others. Lara Kennedy.
Thank you so much.
We are Create the Courage to Be Fearless, and I do ask all my guests these questions, whether it's a masterclass or whether it's an interview. So what is one of the most courageous things that you have done?
I would definitely say leaving my profession of 20 years and starting this. I think that when you start something new, one of the biggest things that we do is we get in our own head, but we let the thoughts of other people get into our head. And I definitely had to go through that. I still do. What are the people that I work with going to think of this? Like, they're going to think, what? You don't even have a fashion degree. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're a theater teacher. Yes. That kind of stuff can really get in our head. And I had been doing that for so long. But this was a huge passion of mine. It was a different way for me to teach. And I'm used to being a teacher. I'm used to teaching. And so I loved it so much. But yeah, definitely having to, and also the age thing, I think, is another issue where I feel like, am I too old to be doing this? Or, whatever. You go through the silliest things in your head. That's probably one of the most courageous things I've done, because now I'm doing it and I'm all in and I don't have that job anymore. And so it puts kind of a next level thing.
Definitely, for sure. So what is your definition of courage?
Oh my goodness. I think the definition of courage is stepping outside of yourself for a greater good. I think that the people who we think of as courageous are the people who there's something, it's not necessarily about them, but there's some group of people or reason or ethical reason or whatnot for why they needed to be courageous, why they need to do what they needed to do. And so I think that for me, that is like that exact definition is leaving yourself behind and doing something for other people.